I tend to think of it as an expensive Walmart stay because our main reason to come here is to have a place to sleep for the night, but at the same time, you're spending money.
I learned the hard way that you cannot trust the fuel gauge on an old vehicle, even when you've just replaced the fuel pump.
What's up guys, Jesse here with Adventure Endeavor, and this video is brought to you by Western Rise. They make absolutely incredible pants. I absolutely love their Evolution 2.0 pant. I wear them everywhere. They're great for travel, they're great for hiking, they're great for being a dad. They're comfortable, they are flexible, and I love them. That's all I gotta say. I just want to let you guys know that right now they have a huge sale. It is 40% off, almost site-wide. So check out the link in the description below to get yourself some.
Good morning, fellow adventurers. Jesse and Melissa here with Adventure Endeavor. We have been camping in the Dove Springs, Cal City area in California, and we are heading on to our friend's property near Yosemite. In the week that we've been here, with all of the rain that California's been getting, all of these flowers have been blooming like crazy in the desert. I've never seen the desert so green in my life.
So when we left our hometown a week ago, I was greasing all of the bearings on the trailer, and I noticed that one of the dust caps was off. So I basically pulled off the tire, and I noticed that the drum had actually cracked and the bearing was toast. So I went, I got all new parts, I put it all back together. We checked it after driving about 1 hour on the way here, but we're just gonna check it one more time, and we're gonna show you how the Anderson, I think it's called a Ready Jack, works. We'll link in the description below, but it's really cool. So it's basically a really tall tire chock that's kind of flat towards the end of it. And so what you do is, if you wanna lift the rear tire, you pull up this way on that chock, and that tire goes so high that that one comes off the ground. Does that make sense? And in theory, it typically works pretty well. We lost a little rubber pad when you do it on asphalt. We need to order one of those. But in the dirt, it typically works pretty well. Hopefully we can get this and show you guys how it works.
Good. It's digging down too much, huh? Softer or harder? Harder ground, okay.
So this is what I came up with because it was sinking in the dirt a little bit. I went ahead and now I'm on the driver's side, and I just want to double check this rear bearing to make sure it's not, you know, tight, too tight, or tight enough. The main thing is tight enough. So what you do is you grab the tire from top to bottom and you see if there's any play. It spins nicely, which is great, and it seems like it's pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and run it, and I may check it a couple more times here and there just to make sure, but then always remember to fully redo your bearings. They say once a year every 20,000 miles, so you can throw a little bit of grease in there here and there through the Zerk fitting. That just helps to make sure it's lubricated so you don't burn up your bearings. But in all reality, you want to pull the tire, you want to pull the hub off, you want to pull out that rear seal, replace the rear seal, and repack your bearings by hand.
A few moments later, we are on the side of the road because I ran the Jeep out of gas. And I learned the hard way that you cannot trust the fuel gauge on an old vehicle, even when you've just replaced the fuel pump. So what we think happened is it was down to a quarter tank. I pulled off on this like nice little turnout here to take a couple of pictures and videos as Jesse drove by. It's really pretty, so at least we have a nice view. And then as I got back in the vehicle and I was getting ready to keep driving, and the Jeep just shut off. So I was like, okay. We were almost all the way down the hill into Bakersfield where I could have gotten fuel, but Jesse had to keep driving past me, go down and fill up the fuel tank, come back in and put about 5 gallons in, but that didn't help. So now he's tearing apart the
Whoa, dude!
Tearing apart the fuel pump system. We think
Fuel pump system? What is a fuel pump system?
It's a system that pumps fuel, no?
Basically, we did an in-tank fuel pump. Worked great. We did off-roading. The fuel went down low. We never had an issue. All weekend off-roading. Everything was great. The gauge works better. Everything like that. Unfortunately, we didn't know the limit. You were pretty damn close to E.
Yeah.
Old car, you basically got to treat quarter as empty.
Lesson learned.
And so what happened is I think it basically sucked up some gunk at the bottom of the tank, and it either fried the pump or clogged it so bad it wouldn't pump. Luckily, this guy, being paranoid, has a spare. I put it in, fuel pumped out, and now I just got to put it back together, and hopefully we're good.
Fingers crossed.
Well, that was a fun hour of our day. Basically, I had to go down the hill, get gas for the Jeep. Luckily, we carry a jerry can in the bed of the truck. Filled it up, cranked, wouldn't start. So I was like, oh, okay, it's probably something, a filter or the pump itself. And the pump wasn't even turning on. So it must have clogged or it must have completely just fried it. But the fuel gauge was working, so I knew that there was power. The sending unit was working. So swapped it out, took a little longer than expected, and now it fires up, right? Let's see.
Fingers crossed.
I just did it twice, but let's just see. What are you gonna go do right now?
Get fuel.
She's gonna go get fuel. That's very true. So last night we made it to our harvest host here in Central Valley, right?
Yeah.
We're in Hanford, California, and you do hear a lot of birds, which is really, really nice. If you guys are not familiar with Harvest Hosts or the platform that is Harvest Host, it's basically you pay a fee yearly, and they give you names of places where you can stay: breweries, wineries, farms,
basically
museums.
An access to a network of all of these places where you can request to stay for a night or sometimes 2 or 3, just completely depending upon the host and kind of what they offer. I like to stay at places like this because it's an experience, and even though it can be a very expensive experience because they recommend...
Like this one.
Yes. So the suggested donation is usually at least $20 per stay. So it's not like a free camping experience. Just to say thank you for allowing these kind hosts to allow you to stay on the property. That's what they suggest, that you support their business in some way. So for us, we bought some jams and some lamb stew meat. So we're gonna make some stew meat. And some honey, and then a bottle of wine for the friends that we're going to see soon. But Jesse,
I tend to think of it as an expensive Walmart stay because, our main reason to come here is to have a place to sleep for the night. But at the same time, you're spending money, we do spend money when we go to Walmart as well, typically.
Usually more money.
Yeah, true. So we're here at Rancho Not So Grande. It's actually just a small 4-acre farm. He has a ton of berries is one of his main things, right? Strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, all that jazz.
Raspberries, yeah.
He started doing meat not too long ago, but he doesn't have anything right now. He has no animals right now. He has a little stand where people can come. It is a U-pick farm, so you can come here and pick fruit. You don't have to stay here. You can just come and pick fruit when it's in season. And what else? There's 2 people staying here. There's us, and then there's another big 5th wheel down the other way.
He has chickens. Like Jesse said, he had lamb previously, not currently.
His lamb were his lawnmowers, he said.
Yeah, for the last season. He makes award-winning wines, actually. They do wine tasting. They are on the sweeter side. He said that they don't classify them as sweet wines per se.
Semi-sweet wines.
Semi-sweet wines.
Yeah.
But award-winning for wine competitions around here, apparently. Just a really, really nice, beautiful property. It's definitely a lot more peaceful than your typical Walmart stay. And it's really a nice option, Harvest Hosts in general, just to have a place to like stop over halfway along your route. For us, this is exactly 3 hours between our 6-hour total travel session, I guess.
Yeah, we're doing a 6-hour drive this weekend from the desert to like kind of towards Yosemite, and we did not want to do that all in one day. And on top of that, somebody ran out of gas yesterday and then burnt up the fuel pump, and that killed a bit of time. So if that were trying to do a 6-hour day, it's just not gonna happen.
So it's really nice and an option to have a beautiful place like this. Sorry, I know we were filming with our faces towards the sun, but this is what the place actually looks like.
Yeah, so I think I just need to get better about understanding that it's an experience, and this is something fun that we're doing for the weekend, not just a stay, even though we spent like $100.
But it's
which
really,
is okay.
It's really high quality stuff.
It is like grass-fed beef. He's like no hormones, no this, no that, which is awesome. Not beef. Lamb.
That's okay. I make lamb.
We make a lamb stew.
It's okay. I make lamb.
And then we got frozen strawberries for Cub because they're not quite in season yet, but he had some frozen from the previous season. Check it out if you haven't.
So people always ask us if it's difficult traveling with a baby, and so far, honestly, we don't really think it's that big of a deal. It's not that much different, honestly. We just have to pay more attention to another human being's needs rather than just our own. For example, we've been driving, 2 hours? 2.5 hours? About that. And we just decided that we were going to pull off at this nice little, I don't know, just like side of the road, and with this beautiful view of this green pasture behind us. Let Cub crawl around. I don't know if you can see him in there. He's crawling around. Give him some food because all he really had this morning was milk. We could have continued on an extra hour of driving, but we want to be responsive to his needs and anticipate his needs before he gets into a full meltdown mode. It's obviously a lot more complex than like a dog, but that's kind of what I think of because, with a dog you have to pay attention to like, did they get water? Did they get food today? Do they need to go to the bathroom? Like, let them get out and stretch their legs before they get too anxious, especially on a long drive day. So it's similar, again, way more complex, obviously, but that's the best thing that I can compare it to. So we just try to stay on top of that and pay attention to his needs and not make our lives more difficult than they need to be. What's Daddy making for breakfast?
Eggs and sausage, avocados. Yeah, what do you want? Egg, sausage, or avocados?
He wants the wind muff.
Oh, whoa, whoa, So we made it to our friend's place here near Coulterville, California, and it is so beautiful. We're just under 3,000 feet here, and basically we're gonna be here with our friends for just a week, just kind of hanging out. So we met these guys, like I said, through our RV club. They have their Grand Design right here. The road in was a little gnarly, so we had a steep grade a lot of the way, which the Ram did great. But we did pull the hill in second gear. I believe it was the 128. I don't know. I'll link the road that we took here up to Coulterville. We got set up. We got the trailer, the Jeep, their beautiful home, and it might be hard to tell, but there's a ton of snow in the mountains over here. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video.